Welcome to the first official Farmhouse improvements, a not-so-clever pun on home improvements. Great. So my goal with these videos is to make something quicker, easier to digest, and just less of an effort on both the watching side and the making side. For a Farmhouse sound video, it takes me 8 hours to design the sound, make the video, make the demo, make the video, edit, upload, all that. This stuff, I can just take the demo that I've already made and give you some tips, tricks, that aren't necessarily mixing based, mastering based. It can kind of be all that. So without further ado, today we're going to talk about vocal chops, and I'm just going to show you what I used in this track. Okay, so first, a couple things. We'll assume that you have some kind of standard little vocal shot like this. I just pulled one from Vengeance down here. Okay, there's those all over the internet. You'll hear hays, you'll hear woos. I'll assume you have something like that before going into how to design it. So if you have one of those, first just on an arrangement standpoint, what I did here is I didn't just throw it right at the beginning of the drop. Listen to what that would have sounded like. So on the one hand, it does feel like ear candy because you're like, oh yes, stuff. And we're excited, especially at a new section, to hear new things. But the downside to that is when we do just throw everything that we have right away, it doesn't leave any room to grow. So if we just have the drop be able to focus on the bass and the snare, really. You can digest that, soak it up, and then there we go. So that's the first thing, is I would not just throw these vocal chops, vocal shots anywhere randomly. I also wouldn't throw it just right at the beginning. Kind of hold off a little bit. Another little trick that I did is I didn't throw it on every single offbeat. I skip an offbeat until the second half. We go for every offbeat here. Notice too that it's not the same sample and the same vocal chop from the first offbeat to the second. They're similar, but they give enough variety that it's not like, oh, he just doubled the claps. Oh, he just doubled the sample. You know, I think everyone's kind of sick of the whole kick, 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 kick. We're over it. So instead of just doing the same sample, do two different ones. Now, how do we make that? Let me show you the different pieces that I used to put this together. So first of all, we have this on the left side. Okay, this on the right side. Together. So just like with sound design, it's not so important that it by itself, it sounds phenomenal, but it has to serve a purpose. I was kind of getting these to try to sound pretty similar and then also be able to, you know, make it sound like a voice actually saying something. So you don't want to just filter, distort, and add a bunch of shenanigans until it's an unrecognizable voice. It should kind of sound like something that sounds like a word. Now here's the other one. Okay, one at a time. Pretty muffled. Okay, so those two, this one I think sounds a little bit less like a voice. Together, this is what the whole thing sounded like. And that's it. That's all I really did. So just getting one of these together is going to, number one, set your track apart from other people's tracks that just drop the sample straight in. Just grab the go and the hey and throw it right into the track. You're going to morph it, you're going to change it, and you're going to grab two that sound different enough apart but similar to give you something kind of cool. So with that said, let's show you how to actually build something from your sample library. Listen to, again, go.
Go!
Now, we don't want to use that because it would sound fine. Let me just show you what that would sound like.
Go! 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 Go!
It just screams that, hey, I just used a sample because I thought it sounded kind of cool. Nothing really special about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the first sample here, the go, and we're going to reverse it. I'm using Logic. I know a lot of you won't. That's fine. Listen to this. Okay. This is what you want to look for now. You're going to look for something that goes, oh, it's almost like they're trying to say, oh, shit, but they're not. So, yes, these are, there we go, 255 vocal shots. The ones that you're going to hear in standard EDM productions, remixes, are going to be pretty close to the top, and they're probably just going to be like,
Go! Go!
I mean, look, the first one I grab is go. So, we're looking for OSH. Osh. Something that sounds kind of like that, and then we're going to reverse it back and get not necessarily go, but we might trick our listener into finding or into hearing go. So let's see what we got here. So this one doesn't sound like go, but it does sound like a reversed go, which was osh. So this has a nice ooh to it. So let's grab this. We'll throw it in, and let's look for another one that sounds like osh. Okay, I like these two. So now we're going to take these and let's split them apart, left and right, see what we got. Okay. For vocal chops, we want it to kind of punch a little bit. So I'm going to make these the same length, shorten them up a little bit, and let's just give a nice little fade. I'm also going to cut just a little off the front, just so we can have not the sample that we started with, get a little bit of a change and kind of make it our own. Now with each of these, because we do want it to have the go vibe to it and the go sound without using the word go, we're going to reverse these. Reverse and reverse. Okay, let's see what it sounds like. Now, the one on the left kind of goes like that. What I want to do is I think we'll do a standard pitch shift here. I'm going to use Wave's sound shifter. And let's try nothing too annoying. There we go. And let's try the right side. Okay, they almost sound actually like a good match together. Let's do another just quick pitch shift and see what we got over here. This one we might just do an octave. Okay, so now I'm going to level these out. Okay, they sound pretty good together. Now that's one that we have. We want to look for a second one that we can alternate with. But just so we can hear what this would sound like in the track, let's just paste these, paste, paste, paste. Now, this is what the track would have been like if I had used these instead of the ones that I actually ended up using. Let's go ahead and mute that and turn these down. Okay, now when we actually listen to it with it, I think this is going to be the weaker one because it's not shouting like I want to get. This will be the alternate that we use in the second half, right here. That second one. So now let's go back to the drawing board. We're going to keep going, and I'm going to look for, I used this lo-fi gold mine just to get some variety. And again, we're looking for a variety of go, and so to get that, we're going to take something that sounds like osh and reverse it. Right here, the first one I listened to, it has an SH at the very end. So we'll save that.
Oh.
There we go. There's our two O, hopefully a little bit of SH at the end. Now this one sounded pretty weird here. And I think that's actually going to work to our advantage. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to reverse both of these. Reverse, reverse. And we'll kind of cut things a little short. Take a little off the front. And let's see what this sounds like. Okay. Pan left, pan right. This one over here sounds a little harsh. It's got like a lot of white noise to it. And I think there might be some more vocals in there. There we go. Right at the beginning here. So that really pulled the like SH sound out, and I want to get more of his voice. There we go. Sounds like he's saying go. Or at least that's what our listener is going to think. So let's fade this out. And let's listen to the right side. Ooh. Cut a little bit off the front. All right, together. And let's try the same just sound shifter method. I'm sure you'll have some sort of pitch shifter. And you want to find find the spot that you think it sounds the best. Okay, so I think just one semitone up. I think that'll do just fine. Now let's listen to our second one. I think when we try this at about 6 semitones, we get something that sounds decent with the left side. And this one, it's got a little bit of a heavier sound to it. There we go. So we just, I just take a little off the low end, and now we should have 2 ready to go that will work for us in this little vocal chop thing that we're working for. Now, as was promised, we were going to take the first one that was a little stronger, that you're probably going to hear a little bit better, and then move the second one that ended up being a little weaker to go on its other offbeats, so that we were missing. So let's hear what it sounds like. Just first couple that I found. Hopefully it sounds good. Well, I think we're going to do one more step here and just see what happens. I'm going to take another pitch shifter to get it to try to match the second offbeat ones over here. Let's see what that sounds like. Now, what I've noticed with definitely Logic's pitch shifter is that it actually kind of lags a little bit. There we go. So what we did is we got each sample to agree left and right side, but what we want is we want each group to agree with each other. So we're going to get a second pitch shifter on this one to match the first one a little bit better. I think it was a little high, and then it's going to bring them both down, 3 semitones. And again, because Logic makes it lag a little bit, we just push it forward. There we go. Let's see what that sounds like. And there you go. Pretty straightforward and simple. We just get some vocal chops, get some vocal chop groups that work well together, and then alternate them. That's really all there is to it. So the main goal here, though, is getting some unique sounds and then walking away with something that if someone was scrolling through samples, they wouldn't have the cool sound that you developed on your own. So yes, you are scrolling through it first to get the ideas, but you want to morph it into something new, something exciting, so that when somebody else hears a, hey, on a spinning record song, they're not going to immediately hear yours and be like, oh, look, they used the same exact one. You want to make stuff that people aren't going to hear, because unfortunately, a lot of people have the same sample packs. So this method, this little double shot, double group vocal chop method will help you avoid that. So that's Farmhouse Improvements number 1. See you guys soon.